Erica Lynn Speaks podcast is a place where you can grow beyond your limitations and make an impact on the world. I am Erica Lynn. I will teach you how to take the restraints off of you, begin to live free, and become unstoppable. Go to ericalynnspeaks.com.
I say Erica Lynn Speaks. Erica Lynn Speaks.
Hello. This is Erica Lynn, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. Well, I like to serve it to you. I like to give it to you straight and give it to you real. You know, last week we talked about reset and realign. This week we're going to focus more on how to restart, after you reset and you're realign, and how to restart your process. How do you restart your process? Before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys share this podcast with everybody that you know. Start a watch party. If you're on YouTube, share with them on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, tag somebody else into this podcast, into this live, because I like to hear from you. I like for you to share your thoughts, your points, your visions. So together we can play big. So who do we have? Hi, Joseph. How are you? All right. Thank you for joining me today on Erica Lynn Speak podcast. I am so excited to be here. We all know that that this is Black History Month. So shout out to all my wonderful Black history, my people who paved the way, who made a stance into everything that we have today, who just set the path and made it big for us. So today's podcast is brought to you guys to somebody who I really admire, who took a stand. We salute Colin Kaepernick today for his outstanding bravery. He jeopardized his career for taking a knee during the national anthem for police brutality in Black Americans. In 2016, Colin and a partner founded the Know Your Rights Camp for disadvantaged youth. Mr. Colin Kaepernick continues today making strides for equality of Black in America. We thank you and we appreciate you, Colin Kaepernick. So this commercial is brought to you by Colin Kaepernick. And I'm back. Hope you guys like my little commercial. And thank you again, Prophet Collins, for joining us. And if you guys are wherever you are, just shout out, say, hey, Erica, I'm here on YouTube. Erica, I am here on Facebook, because we have 2 Facebook pages. So wherever you are, just give me a shout out, and I definitely will respond. So like I said, we focused on resetting last week, where when I used the example of a computer, when it's running slow and you guys just can't get your information and you're constantly clicking the buttons. Well, that's the same of life, right? You're trying to go through life and you just can't get anything to act right or go for it. So you have to reset yourself. You have to release everything that's within you so that you can put yourself back together the right way. And when you put yourself back together, you want to realign yourself with the right goals and the right path and the right purpose that you're going on. So when you realign yourself, now you're doing it from a good place. You're doing it from a whole place. You're doing it from a happy place, right? Let me know what things in your life that you would like to reset. What areas in your life? Type it down in the comments section for me. What areas in your life would you like to reset? And how would you like to realign yourself? And if you have any questions for me during this podcast, please feel free to answer them, because I'll be glad to ask them, because I'll be glad to answer them for you. So this week, like I said, we're going to focus on how to restart because we reset, we realigned, and now we're going to focus on how to restart. See, starting over is not the same as recouping from a failure. So just because you started over doesn't mean that you failed, doesn't mean that you're a bad person, doesn't mean that, oh, all these negative things that we tell ourselves, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, or I'm just not good enough. It doesn't mean any of that. All it's simply saying is that it is a new beginning and you have gained experience and knowledge to help reach your goals. See, reignite your passion by imagining what it feels like when you achieve that desired result. So what does it feel like to reignite that passion, to restart again? It's almost like you're born again. I used to hear pastors say, ask God to blow fresh wind on you. When he just blow fresh wind, like you get a breath of fresh air. So it allows you to relax and release from all those things that happened to you before. You just getting a fresh start. You learn some things, right? What I'm not going to do again, or you learn who you're going to allow into your sacred space, right? You're more protective over the things that you have going on, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing when you restart is this. You are going to, like, restarting. One example I can give you is like moving through life as if you're climbing stairs, right? So when you climb the stairs, you go up 2 steps, right? And then you level off. But then what happens is you may go down 1 step, but you are still higher than you were before you started. Because remember, you went up 2 steps and you went back 1 step. But you're higher than you were when you started. See, that's the process of life. It's never a straight shot. It's never a straight shot. Even with the steps, they're never straight. It's never a straight shot. You have to have some patience and with yourself and your newfound direction. Because if you think that you're going to rush through life, you got a rude awakening. And if you rush through life, there's a lot of things that you're going to miss. And definitely you're not going to get the results that you want. You're just going to end up with a whole lot of frustration, a whole lot of, oh my God, I should have did it different. I should have allowed this to happen. I shouldn't have rushed through that. Even with relationships, let's take relationships, for example. When you meet a person and you don't go through the dating process, and then all of a sudden now y'all boyfriend or girlfriend, or heck, some people even got married in 2 weeks. What did you really learn about that person? Like, how much of them did you really get to know? And how much of yourself did they really get to know? Because when you rushed because you didn't have patience, right? Then you guys got in this marriage and this relationship. Then y'all wake up tomorrow and you're like, I really don't like you. I really can't stand you. And I'm not talking about something that I'm just speaking. I'm talking about personal experience. I rushed through several of my relationships. And once we were in a position that we were stuck with each other because we lived in the same house, we couldn't go anywhere else, I realized that's not the man for me. Like, he doesn't share my same visions. He doesn't share my same purpose. So after you get past the glitz and the glamour and the giddiness that he makes you feel, or the giddiness that she makes you feel, or perhaps, a lot of relationships is based upon sex. So after that feel good is gone and you wake up the next day, what really attracted you guys together? Like, what is his thoughts? What are your thoughts? Like, what do you really know about each other? So you got to have patience. That's the same with life. Anything that you do in life, please have plenty of patience. Hey, Diane, how are you this evening? We're focusing on how to restart, because last week, remember, we focused on reset and realign. So now we're focusing on how to restart. So next, after you have patience, then you can create a whole new life if you want. You can create a whole new life if you want. You design your own life. Nobody else can design it for you. You make your life out to be what you want it to be. And you just have to approach it the right way. You got to approach it the right way. Sometimes little ideas can turn into big things. Visualize a positive outcome for your issue. Medical doctors recommend visualization. Do you guys recommend? Sorry, let me slow down. Recognizing visualization, meaning that you visualize that path that you want to go on. You visualize your purpose. You visualize the steps that you have to take to get there. So if you really visualize it, sometimes you can get a real good, clear picture of where you're trying to go and how you want to get there. So if you can help it, do the same thing that I recommend. So that is one assignment that I would like for you guys to have. Write it down. Visualize where you want to go. Visualize how you're going to get there. And then I want you to visualize what is it going to look like once you get there. So what is Diane saying? Who's that? Hey, Loretta, how you doing? Long time no see. And Brenda, hi, Brenda. Thank you for joining us today on my podcast. Diane says, very good. Restart is very good. Absolutely. And she said, hi, Joseph. Hi, lady. Diane is telling you, ladies, how y'all doing? Thank you guys for joining me today. So now we talked about visualizing. So I gave you guys an assignment. I want you to visualize your goals. I want you to visualize your steps of how you're going to get there. And then I want you to definitely visualize what it's going to look like once you get there. Next, we're going to talk about endings are not necessarily bad things, right? So because something is over doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Because if that relationship is over, it definitely doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Maybe that's just not the man or woman that was for you. Like, you could probably really, really breathe now because when you was in that relationship, things were not going good. Or even when you was at a job, right? And your boss come in there and say, you are fired. And you just feel like the world is just like over. Oh my God, I'm just going to be on unemployment. I'm going to be on welfare. How am I going to take care of my kids? But once you take a step back and you breathe, that job might not have been the job for you. That job was just temporary. See, some things come in our life for a temporary season, and some things come in our life for a long-term season. And that job was just a temporary season for you to gain the experience that you need. So when you go on to your next job, look at what you learned from the first job. You took those same experiences and so much more that you learned from that first job, and then you carried it over to the next job. But when you got to the next job, guess what? You was able to ask for more money. You was able to set your standards. You knew what you would accept and what you won't accept. You knew how much work that you had to put in to get to where you want to go. So that's what you need to do. Just because something ends does not mean that it's a bad thing. I want you guys to type that in the comments section. Just because something ends does not mean that it's a bad thing. You know, so even if your house, like we're in this pandemic, right? A lot of people have lost their homes. They have lost a lot of things. And it does not necessarily mean that you lost your house was a bad thing. Like maybe the overhead was too high in the first place. Maybe you was tired of getting out there cutting the grass. Maybe you didn't want to shovel the doggone snow. And so you didn't know how to get out of that house so you can get into a condo or get into an apartment. It might not necessarily be a bad thing that you lost your house. I don't want you to lose your house, but just look at the bright side. If you lost your house, look at the positive. The new place that you're going, you probably ain't even got to shovel the snow. I'm telling you, y'all, I got a lot of land out there, a lot of long sidewalk, big driveway. And by the time I shovel part of the driveway, my back be hurting. And I be like, oh, Jesus, send me a husband. What you say, Brenda? That's right. Just because something ends does not mean that it's a bad thing. Absolutely. Thank you for putting it in the comments section, Brenda. So next is starting over. It may feel scary, but it can be a cause for a celebration. Who all need a reason to party? I mean, like, can I get a thumbs up or something? Like, who need a reason to party? Like, when you start over, you're like, I'm celebrating this restart. I'm celebrating my new beginning. I'm celebrating the things that God is about to bring into my life. I am celebrating the direction that I'm going in. So just because you have to start over, it may feel scary, but let's celebrate it. Let's absolutely celebrate. You know, somebody once told me, Erica, celebrate all your wins. I don't care if they small wins. And so I'm just blessed enough to be able to share my wins with you guys live on Facebook through some of the posts. Some of the wins might not be as small because might not be as big as I want them to be, but they're a win. Because when I set out on this path, my path was, I want my purpose and my path is let me be in a position to help all of those who need my help, who's called to me and who I am called to, right? And then I was like, well, I want to meet Iyanla Vanzant. I want to meet Oprah. I want to be on the Oprah show. And I want to meet Ricky Smiley. Although I have not achieved that yet, Does not mean that it won't happen. But on my process of getting there, I am celebrating all of my wins. As you can see, I made top 25, one of the top 25 women in business for 2021 in the Courageous Women magazine. First of all, that was pretty doggone courageous of me to even step out there and say, hey, I'm here. And so for someone to acknowledge me, for me to step out into doing this business, for someone to acknowledge it, I had to have courage. Was it scary? Absolutely, it was scary. But we did it. I posted it, and we all celebrated. You guys all helped celebrate my win. So that's what I'm saying to you. Whatever it is, no matter if it's scary and you have to start over again, let's celebrate. So if you have to walk again for the first time, when you take that first step, let's celebrate your first step. If you start a new job, let's celebrate your first day. If you get a new home, let's celebrate your new home. Whatever it is, no matter how scary it is, I'm telling you guys, let's celebrate your restart. Because how you start that restart, man, it gives you that momentum, that push you need, that excitement that you need in order to keep going on your path. And so when you kind of waver a little bit in the process, you like, but look how good it felt when I started. Am I right, Brenda? Am I right, Diane? Let's celebrate, your first win. So in celebrating everything that I do, I created a commercial. I created a program, the One Step Beyond You signature program. And so my way of celebrating something that I did, I'm going to share with you guys this 46-second commercial, and I hope you love it. And I would love to hear your feedback from it.
Are you ready to become unstoppable? Be bold, live free, and walk in your fearlessness? Are you ready to be courageous? If you are ready to play big and make your mark in life, if you are ready to break free, it is time for you to realize your full purpose in life by allowing Erica Lynn to help you break free from your boundaries. Break free beyond your limitations. Elevate your power. Play big while moving into your biggest step forward in your life. To find out how, go to ericalynnspeaks.com and sign up for the One Step Beyond You signature program today.
That's fantastic. What y'all think about my little commercial? I celebrate my commercial. But we had some good news coming in here. Lauren said she got perfect marks on her driving today. Oh, that's fantastic. Let's celebrate Lauren's perfect marks on her driving because she's going to truck driving school. And so to have perfect marks, that's fantastic because I know I probably could drive a big old truck. So that is awesome. Yay! Everybody give Lauren a thumbs up. If you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube on one of the channels, let's give Lauren a thumbs up, a heart, a hug, and let's celebrate her win. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Brenda, you said you're celebrating right now. She said she wants a new life. That's right. And we're going to celebrate your new life, Brenda. We're going to celebrate your new life. I'm giving you air hugs. That's my way of celebrating with you guys. That is fantastic, Lauren. I'm so happy for you. For getting perfect marks on your truck driving today. That is awesome. So next, I want you to remember that your future is not governed by your past. Let me say it again. Your future is not governed by your past. So no matter what has happened in your life, you can find a way to make things a little better for yourself and hopefully for those around you as well. So in other words, what I say in my album, if you guys heard my album, your past does not dictate your future. Your past just have taught you some lessons. There's some things that you had to learn or some experiences that you had to go through, but your past does not dictate to your future. Because if I stayed in my past, I wouldn't be right here with you guys today. I'm telling you, look, I feel like shouting. Tell me, I want you guys to write that in the comments section. Your past does not dictate your future. That's right, y'all, because you guys are powerful. You are wonderful. You are magnificent, and you design your own future. Nobody else designs it for you. Nothing else designs it for you. You take control of your own future. You took the first step, right? We celebrated your first win. You took your first step and you began moving forward in your path, and you moved away from your past. You learned the lessons that you need to learn, and you became the man or woman who God has called you to be today. Amen. Look, y'all, sometimes I don't know if I want to shout or if I'm preaching here, but y'all understand what's going on. So next, after you understand that your past does not dictate to your future, I want you to also understand that having to start over is different from choosing to start over. So in other words, for many whose lives are still in chaos because of their trying times we are in, starting over is not a choice, right? You have to start over because we're going through something. It can be hard to accept support from others. If you find it difficult to take that in, just promise yourself that you will return the favor and do something to pay it forward as soon as possible. So, in other words, that some of us have to start over and some of us want to start over. So, no matter what it is, there's nothing wrong with starting over. Absolutely nothing wrong with starting over, because a fresh start might do you some good. Because have you ever tried, let's say, taking a test or trying to show your boss that you can do this, or you're trying to show somebody else that you're perfect for them, and you're trying so hard that you just keep messing up, right? You like, I want to show my boss that I'm just an exemplary employee, and every time they walk back by, they catch you doing something wrong, and you be like, I've been good all day, and the one time they walk by me, I did something wrong. Or what if you've been studying so hard for the test, day in, day out, no sleep, and then you take the test and you bomb? Or what about you trying to be that perfect person for somebody else, right? You changed yourself, you exercise, you did all these things for somebody else. And when they see you, you're still not that perfect person for them. So what I'm saying is, it is okay to start over. Breathe, release, let it go. Get a fresh wind. Take a break from the study. Just start over and say, what did I do that I couldn't pass the test? Why is it that I'm trying so hard to impress my boss, but they still keep seeing me screwing up? So sometimes we all need a do-over. You can say to the boss, look, I'm not even going to lie. I tried to impress you. I tried to impress you so hard, you caught me screwing up. Who knows? Both of y'all might get a laugh. And you might learn something, because the boss might say, I actually do see all the good things that you're doing. Keep up the good work, and you don't have to try so hard where you where you feel like your world is going to cave in on you. So sometimes we need a fresh start. Like, we need to hear that from that other person that helps you and allows you to be part of, to be a part of your fresh start. Am I making sense? Does that make sense? So, starting over is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? And like I said, some of us choose to start over and some of us have to start over. But whatever it is okay, because even with the pandemic, a lot of people had to start over. A lot of people lost their jobs. They just lost a lot of things, and you had to go into a new career. You had to work from home, start your own business, whatever it is. Like, it's okay. All I'm saying, my point to all that is, it is okay, right? Type that in the comment section. It is okay if I have to start over. It is okay. So next, healthy alternatives to negative lifestyles and patterns abound. If you can't stop a bad habit, start by cutting back. It is okay to give yourself a little time to moderate or stop something that's hurting you. Again, like I said before, it is okay. It is okay. It is okay. You have to, like, a negative lifestyle, negative patterns, negative mindset, let all that go. Start being positive. Start being positive. How can I achieve this? When somebody said you can't do it, Lauren, you can't pass the driving test. What you gonna say? I can, I will, and I did pass my driving test. That's all I'm saying. Let the negative things go and Let the negative, toxic people go. Because I always say this. How many of you guys know toxic people in your life? Do you have any negative people in your life? Do you know somebody toxic? Well, it is okay to let them go. Like, look, you toxic. You ain't on my level. You ain't on my radar. I need to come from a happy place, a whole place. And I'm releasing you. And even though it might hurt because y'all might have been friends for a long time or you known this person for a long time, if all this person does is bring negativity and chaos into your life, guess what Erica Lynn is saying? Let them go. Release the negative. Release. And even if you're doing negative things in your life, like smoking or drinking or not getting proper exercise or whatever is, self-sabotaging your body, release those negative lifestyles. Let it go. Start something fresh. Do something new. Start cutting back. If you smoke 10 cigarettes a day, smoke 5. Cut back to 5. Cut back. And eventually, if God be willing, you won't be smoking no more. So whatever it is, if you just start small, a little bit at a time, eventually you'll be able to reverse those negative habits to positive habits. And if you're saying something negative about yourself right now, this moment, today, and every day, I want you to begin to speak positivity out your mouth. What you say, Lauren? She say, watch me. That's right. That is right. Absolutely. So now you have started over. Okay, there you go. I'm like clicking the button. Okay, so we have 2 more to go, and then I'm done. And it's Friday, and I know you guys want to go and party with some water, maybe a little wine, whatever floats your boat. But anyway, starting over, because we're talking about restart here. So when you restart, that means you're starting over. And starting over is about creating and reaching new goals, right? Setting new goals for yourself. We are happiest when we are moving toward a goal. It's not all about the end results. In fact, if you can achieve a dream, if you have a dream and you can achieve that dream, you must find a new one as soon as possible, as soon as you reach that goal, or in order to stay emotionally fit. Think about this. You can either be green and growing or ripe and rotten. Which do you prefer? Write that in the comments. I want to know, do you want to be green and growing or do you want to be ripe and rotten? Tell me. Because dreams and goals, walking into your vision and your purpose, they allow you to be green. Like green is, I equate green to being happy. Green to the flowers and growing, right? So when you're going into your goals or walking into your purpose, you're green and growing. But when things are negative and not going your way and you down and depressed, loss of a relationship, and it's just dragging you down and you just full of negativity and all of this, I say you ripe and rotten. So I want to ask you one more time, which one do you want to be? Green and growing or ripe and rotten? That's right. That's right. Brenda and Lauren say they want to be green and growing. Absolutely. Because I want to be green and growing. I want to continue and always be green and growing. So we got the last one here. Starting over is about giving yourself a chance at happiness. Woo! Let me say it where you can feel it. Starting over is about giving yourself a chance at happiness. You will have to be brave and get good at learning new things. Ooh, that's a challenge for many of us. But how bad can that be? How bad can it be learning new things? How bad can it be getting good at new things? At the very worst, you will acquire new skills and you need to start on that. You can start on the next project. How many of you all can relate to what I'm saying? See, some people, they don't like change, right? Some people are not looking for change. But if you want something different in your life, guess what? You got to change. And if you want something different in your life, you got to do something different in order to get that different thing. So we talk about that man. If you want that man in your life, you got to do something different to get that man. If you want to be the best truck driver, making that kind of money that you want, then what you got to do, Lord? You have to do something different by going to school, getting and studying and getting your mind right so that you can pass the test. But again, if you want something different, you have to do something different. Am I right, Brenda? If you want happiness in your marriage, then you got to give happiness. You got to do something a little extra special for your husband so that he can respond extra special to you. And you know what I mean? It's a give and take. You give to him, he gives to you. Hey, that's a win-win situation, right? Brenda said 2021 is all new for me. Absolutely. 2021, I would say, in all the years of my life, 2021, I see the best time for any and everybody to walk into their greatness, to walk into the things that you've always wanted to accomplish. Like those dreams that you dream at night. 2021, don't just dream about them. Walk into them. Figure out, how can I make this dream a reality? Like, you want to travel? What do I need to do to save my money or get the money so that I can travel? You want to walk again? What do I need to do in order to take my first step? You want to lose weight? Who do I got to hire to train me and fix this body so my body is right when I'm done? Whatever it is, you have to do something different to get something different. And again, what I said on the restart, starting over is about giving yourself a chance to real happiness. Because I can't make you happy. Only you can make you happy. And only you know what you need to make yourself happy. Am I making sense? Like, give me a thumbs up. Tell me something. And do I know what I'm talking about? That's right, Brenda. You are a queen. You are a woman. A phenomenal woman. That's you. One day I'm going to learn that poem for you guys. And I'm going to recite it on here for you. Phenomenal Woman. That's me by Maya Angelou. So that's today. This podcast, the last thing I'm going to say to you guys before I go is, I want you to go and look up Maya Angelou's poem, Phenomenal Woman. And I want you to read out loud to yourself, Phenomenal Woman, twice a day, once in the morning and sometime in the afternoon. And when you read Phenomenal Woman, I want you to read those words with conviction. I want you to read those words with wholeness. I want you to take them in. I want you to breathe out. Inhale, breathe out, say the poem, and feel it, and believe it, and know it, that you are not just only a queen. You are a phenomenal woman. That's you. That's it. Phenomenal woman. Type that in the comment section. Phenomenal woman. That's me. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. It's Friday. I know you guys got to get going. I know you guys got to do your thing and enjoy your Friday night or whatever it is that you have to do. I thank you. I love you guys for joining me. Which Lauren, you got the poem. So recite the poem. I want to know that you, when we get back next week, I want to know that you've been reading that poem. Because what I've learned is when you begin to read positive things, then positive things begin to come into your life. And I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I believe in the laws of reciprocity. What you put out in the atmosphere is what you get back. So if you putting out in the atmosphere that you're a phenomenal woman, guess what? You owning it, you know it, you walking it, you talking it, you feeling it, you breathing it. You are just the bomb. Because you are a phenomenal woman. That's you. I am your girl, Erica Lynn. Thank you for joining Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. Oh my God, for another wonderful episode. Make sure y'all tell everybody about the podcast. Tell them to join us every Friday live at 5 with me, Erica Lynn, and you guys. You know, and your comments and questions, bring your questions. Come loaded because your girl is ready for you. Your girl is ready for you. What you say, Brenda? Yes, I'm listening to The Secret. Oh, yes, The Secret is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So that's my time. I love you guys. I'm not going to hold you anymore. But remember, you guys are a phenomenal woman. And all you have to do is just remember to take one step beyond you. God bless you guys. I'm Erica Lynn. I'll see you next week. This podcast was brought to you by EricaLynnSpeaks.com. Sign up for your free consultation today. at ericalynnspeaks.com/work with me. And just remember, it only takes just one step beyond
beyond you. I say Erica Lynn speaks.